Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to dive deep into the latest Port Charles drama. Grab your coffee, or maybe something stronger, because we have so much to unpack today. Thank you for tuning in, and let's just get straight into the absolute madness that just unfolded on our screens. I am literally shaking with frustration right now. I just finished watching the latest episode, and my fingers couldn't move fast enough to get to this keyboard because I seriously cannot believe what I just watched. I need to vent, I need to scream into the void, and I need to know if you guys are seeing the exact same ridiculousness that I am seeing. I mean, we all knew something crazy was going to happen this summer, but this is just on another level of chaotic soap opera writing, and I am both entirely here for it and completely exhausted by it. I've been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have to say, this current storyline with Drew Kane, Willow Kane, and the absolute circus surrounding them is easily one of the most frustrating, stressful, and bizarre things they have ever done. And I have opinions. But wait, I need to back up before I just start yelling in all caps about Giovanni Palmieri. Let's talk about Elizabeth Corte and Chris Van Etten for a second. We all saw that interview they did with Soap Opera Digest, right? They serve as the head writing team for General Hospital now, and they recently spilled some major summer shockers. They specifically teased that Drew makes a big splash this summer. And honestly, when I first read that, I thought they were speaking metaphorically. You know, like he makes a big splash in the corporate world, or he makes a big splash by exposing some massive secret. But no. They literally meant a physical, literal splash into a body of water. I am losing my mind over how painfully on the nose that is. So let's really paint this picture, because the scene is just so completely absurd when you break it down. We have Drew Kane, who has been locked in his own body, paralyzed because Willow has been secretly dosing him with those black market paralytic injections she got from Jen Sidwell. And by the way, how insane is it that sweet former schoolteacher Willow is now a straight-up villain drugging people? But anyway, Drew is in a wheelchair. He's parked near the edge of the Metro Court pool. The Metro Court pool, why is he even up there? Because Willow probably brought him up there while she was busy wrangling the kids or trying to keep up appearances. And then she turns her back. Maybe she gets distracted, maybe she walks away to grab a towel or a drink, and chaos ensues. Because think about it from Willow's perspective right now. She is absolutely spiraling. Jen Sidwell is on the run, which means her supply of that precious paralytic drug is drying up fast. She is panicking. And just recently, Felicia Scorpio came up to her, completely oblivious, with this big, bright smile to announce that General Hospital has made arrangements for Drew to start communicating. Felicia thought she was delivering good news. She thought she was being helpful. But for Willow, that is her ultimate doomsday scenario. If Drew can communicate, Drew can spill everything. He can tell the world what she has done to him. So Willow is already on the verge of a total nervous breakdown. And then, Drew takes a tumble. The paralytic is wearing off just enough for him to try and fight for his mobility. He is probably sitting there in that chair, feeling a twitch in his leg or his arm, and he tries to push himself up. He tries to break free from this chemical prison Willow put him in. And in his struggle, he loses his balance. He stumbles out of the chair and boom. He goes right over the edge and into the Metro Court pool. A literal big splash. And because he still doesn't have full control of his muscles, because the drugs are still heavily in his system, he can't swim. He is literally sinking to the bottom of the pool, fighting for his life, unable to move his arms and legs enough to break the surface. But then, just when you think the universe is going to do Willow a solid and solve her Drew problem once and for all, who comes flying in to save the day? Giovanni Palmieri. Gio. I swear to you, I threw my remote at the couch when this happened. Am I the only one who finds Gio's sudden hero status completely exhausting? I mean, the kid is a violinist. He is a musician who suddenly moved to Port Charles, got tangled up with the mob, and now he is working as a summer lifeguard at the Metro Court? Really? Is there anyone else employed in this town? So Gio leaps into action. He dives into the pool, grabs a drowning Drew, and drags him to safety. Gio saves his life. And the spoilers literally said, there are those in Port Charles who dearly wish he hadn't saved him. Yeah. No kidding. I am one of those people. And you know who else is? Willow. Willow probably turned around, saw Drew sinking, and for a split second she had to have thought, this is it. My problems are over. He drowns, it looks like a tragic accident, and my secret dies with him. But no, Gio had to play hero. And let's not forget Alexis Davis. Alexis is going to dearly wish Gio had let Drew sink to the bottom of that chlorinated water, but I will get to her in a minute. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself again. We have to talk about Trina Robinson and Kai Taylor in all of this. Because this is where the storyline gets incredibly messy, and where I am actually kind of loving the drama. So, news spreads about this harrowing incident involving Drew. People hear that Drew Kane fell into the pool and almost drowned. And what do Trina and Kai immediately think? They get the completely wrong idea. They assume that Willow intentionally pushed him into the pool to kill him. And can we really blame them for jumping to that conclusion? I mean, seriously? Let's look at the facts here. Trina and Kai can't know that Willow shot Drew twice. They know what she is capable of. They know she has this incredibly dark, violent side that she hides behind this pristine, perfect mother facade. If you knew someone had already put 2 bullets into a guy, and then that same guy mysteriously falls into a pool while under her care, wouldn't you assume she pushed him? I would. I would call the cops immediately. I love Trina so much, and my heart just aches for her right now. She has been through absolute hell this past year. She lost Spencer, she is dealing with Curtis facing actual prison time because of that whole mess with Isaiah Gannon, she is trying to prep for her art showcase, and there are even rumors of a stalker storyline coming up for her. The girl is under an unbelievable amount of stress. And Kai is just watching her crumble, trying to be supportive, trying to protect her. So when they hear about Drew's near drowning, their minds immediately go to the worst case scenario. They think Willow is trying to finish the job she started with that gun. And the absolute irony of it all is that this time, Willow might actually be innocent. I mean, she is guilty of a million other things. She is guilty of dosing him. She is guilty of shooting him. She is guilty of making deals with Jack Brennan. But she might not have actually pushed him into the pool. But because of her history, nobody is going to believe her. It is the boy who cried wolf, except it's the girl who shot a man twice and faked a lake push. Remember when they tried this exact same setup with Tracy Quartermain? Oh my god, I am still not over that. Just a little while ago, Willow and Tracy were arguing by the Quartermain boathouse, and Willow literally threw herself into the lake and claimed Tracy pushed her just so Harrison Chase would arrest his own grandmother-in-law. Willow is a known lake faker. She has a history of water-related manipulation. So of course Trina and Kai are going to think she pushed Drew. It is perfectly logical character progression, and I have to give the writers a tiny bit of credit for making that connection, even if the rest of this plot is making my hair turn gray. So now we have Drew, completely saved by Gio the Wonder Boy, and he is recovering. The paralytic is wearing off, the near-death experience probably jolted his system, and he is returning to form. And what does Drew do the second he has his voice and his mobility back? Does he have a spiritual awakening? Does he realize the error of his ways? Absolutely not. He goes right back to being a massive, insufferable cad. I'm sorry, but what happened to the Drew Kane we used to know? Remember when Billy Miller played him? Remember when he was this honorable, decent guy who just wanted to build a life and figure out his memories? Now he is this arrogant, vengeful jerk who is just stomping around Port Charles, making everyone miserable. And the first person he decides to target with his renewed energy is Alexis Davis. He starts tormenting Alexis. Why? Because he can. Because he is angry, and he needs somewhere to direct that anger, and Alexis is an easy target for him right now. And Alexis is not going to just sit there and take it. Alexis is a Davis woman. She is fierce, she is sharp, and she has zero patience for nonsense. So what does she do? She turns right around and confronts Willow. Alexis marches right up to Willow and tells her straight to her face that she knows Willow is guilty. Alexis knows Willow is guilty of faking that push into the lake with Tracy, and she probably suspects Willow is guilty of everything else involving Drew too. Alexis is putting the pieces together, Trina and Kai are suspicious, and Willow's entire house of cards is about to come crashing down in the most spectacular way possible. I've been watching since 2015, and this is honestly one of the most frustrating character assassinations I have ever witnessed. I know some people are loving this Dark Willow era, but personally, I miss when characters had consistent motivations. Now it just feels like everyone is doing whatever the plot requires them to do for shock value. Willow is a criminal mastermind one day, and a panicked mess the next. Brooke Lynn is framing Willow for Jordan's crash just to protect her own secret. Michael is scheming in the background trying to push Willow and Chase into an affair. It is just a giant web of lies and everyone is terrible. But you know what? That is why I can't stop watching. Because as much as I complain, as much as I sit here at midnight typing furiously on my keyboard, I am emotionally invested. I need to see Willow get caught. I need to see Trina and Kai confront her. I need to see what happens when Harrison Chase finally realizes that the woman he is defending is actually a monster who doses people with black market drugs and shoots them. Chase is going to lose his mind. His marriage to Brooklyn is already on the verge of blowing up because of the hit and run frame up, and now he is going to find out Willow is even worse. Poor Chase. The man just wants to adopt baby Phoebe and be a good cop, and he is surrounded by absolute sociopaths. So what happens next? If Corte and Van Etten are giving us literal splashes, what else are they being literal about? Is Drew going to try and retaliate against Willow physically? Is he going to use his newfound voice to destroy her life completely? Or is Jack Brennan going to step in? Because Willow just made a new deal with Brennan at Turning Woods. She found out Brennan wasn't paralyzed, and now Brennan is offering to find dirt on Drew to help Willow out. So maybe Brennan is the one who ultimately takes Drew down. Honestly, I am dreading the fallout, but I also can't look away. I know the forums are going crazy right now, and half the fans are cheering for Gio, while the other half are wishing he had taken a break from lifeguarding that day. I just want Trina to get a break. I want her showcase to go well. I want her to distance herself from all this toxic adult drama, and I want her to just be happy with Kai. But this is Port Charles, and happiness is basically illegal here. Okay, I need to wrap this up before I start ranting about Sunny and Jen Sidwell, because that is a whole other mess that I do not have the energy for tonight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you on Trina and Kai's side? Do you think Willow actually pushed him, or was it really just the drugs wearing off? And seriously, can we get Gio a different job? Stay tuned, because this summer is shaping up to be an absolute barn burner, and I will be right here complaining about every single second of it with you all.